Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. To support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. And to bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. And I will obey. The orders of. The President of the United States. And the orders of. Los Angeles. Regulations. And uniform military justice. So help me God.
0.625-mile racetrack, and just as the field comes around turn number 4, the sunshine peaks from helping warm things here. Billy leads it down. Benny Parsons on the outside. The green flag flies, and the first Union 400 Winston Cup race from North Wilkesboro is underway. Everybody nicely through turns number 1 and 2 as Bill Elliott has the lead, and Dale Earnhardt has jumped into second position, followed by Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison. Oh, here we go. It's just about to go away. They bump coming out of turn 4. Earnhardt gets the lead. We had just heard from our spotters that Neil Ryan. Dale Earnhardt is on his last lap. This will be his 24th career win. Dale Earnhardt wins the first Union 400 at North Wilkesboro.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what?
It's Wednesday night. Time for a hump day fight. 40 of iRacing's best in a carbon fiber slugfest. Esport aces, mechanical maniacs, over-the-wall weekend warriors, hometown track heroes, and even boys from the big leagues. Oh, we've got characters, all right. Strapped in the sim rig, poised to strike. We're set to battle it out each and every lap. So grab your popcorn. This is Thunderclap.
Ain't nowhere to hide. You ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind. Cause I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You race to the stripe.
Contact 4 wide for the lead.
He blocks checker flag, change scene right by .025 seconds.
It is going to be Ryan Truex. I'm far ahead and gotta run last. But we ain't letting up, we never done that. Ain't nowhere to hide. You ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind. 'Cause I be on the way.
They are wrecking just like that. Oh, a humongous impact.
After years of hard work, after years of building from this one virtual racetrack, in the real world, stock car racing returning to North Wilkesboro this week. Tonight, the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated gets to take part in racing at the virtual counterpart as the Thunderclap salutes at North Wilkesboro. Good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside me is Brian Britt with our producer Austin Darbyshire here on Grid Vision as we get ready to go racing for 125 total laps for a majority of these drivers tonight. Heat racing on the docket as well as a 100-lap feature for just the third truck race of the season.
Yeah, definitely excited to be here as well, Justin. I mean, this track has so much history. 75 years this track has existed, and glad to see it back into almost NASCAR prevalence in a way, and we're going to definitely take a trip down memory lane here tonight at North Wilkesboro. Of course, you mentioned salute the, I do believe, people that have served our country. Well, there are quite a few people in the field tonight as well that have served our country, and we'll talk about them as the race goes on. But, of course, this is a .63-mile racetrack. The temperature of the track is actually quite hot, Justin, 126 degrees. It's going to make for some sticky conditions, probably a little bit of loose, tire slips, I'd say, wouldn't you say?
That's an understatement when it comes to this racetrack, especially one that, if you keep in mind, is built on the side of a hill, which can add some more troubles throughout the day as these drivers battle around the racetrack in turn. Now, talking things over about Thunderclap salutes. As mentioned, today honoring military veterans from across the globe, but as well those serving in the military who race in this series. Several different competitors, 5+ honoring respective military veterans on their cars, others with military paint schemes tonight, several of whom serve themselves currently in active duty. Yeah,
100%. I mean, speaking of which, one of the ones that I do believe that does serve active duty is Jordan Durasic. I think he's in the U.S. Air Force Senior Airman. He is active at the moment, so glad to see him, I do believe, out here going to be making his way around North Wilkesboro, definitely honoring him. And you mentioned some drivers are going to be actually honoring, some of their family members, I do believe, that have served. Of course, Greg McConey, one of them on his driver's side, he is going to be saluting Norman McDonald, or McConey, I should say, from the U.S. military. He passed in 2014, so definitely hate to see that for sure, but definitely going to be honored here tonight. Of course, on the passenger side, Rodney Bouchard, I do believe, in the U.S. Navy as well. So a lot of people being represented there from Greg McConey.
Let's take the glance over towards the championship standings coming into tonight. The overall standings, and believe it or not, just 6 races, including tonight, left to go before the postseason. Ryan Truex doing Ryan Truex things. Shouldn't be surprised from a NASCAR Xfinity Series driver. A 12-point advantage over Sean Bounty. Truex, keep in mind, saying he finished up his JGR schedule just this past weekend at Darlington. Josh Ball, 33 points behind Sean Bounty, in turn 45 behind Ryan Truex. Roger Debold for RFK Racing up in 4th. John Freeman tied with him for that 4th spot. And then you have Steven Cherick back in the 6th position, 118 points back. Of note, Jordan Jurassic, who started off the season strong, back in 12th in the point standings for reference. Drivers making surges as of late include Greg McConey, who's in the 8th position. Mark McCrary, who's been quick on the short tracks in the top 10 as well, Brian.
Yeah, and I actually want to move on over to the Truck Series points. What's surprising to me looking at these figures, we've only had 2 truck races this season thus far, which is kind of surprising. But, of course, we talked about Ryan Truex, how good he is in the overall points. Well, he definitely was pretty good in the Truck Series points as well. He has won in all 3 cars, and trucks are included. But Josh Ball right now is at the top of the board in the truck points. I do believe he only has 9 points over Ryan Truex, of course, who is second place in the points. Chase Leahy is in third. Of course, fourth place, Sean Boundy, who we talked about just a little bit ago. Fifth place, Roger Diebold. Sixth place, Greg McConey, who we're talking about representing some military service members in his family. Seventh, Justin Clapper. Eighth, Mark McCrary. Ninth, Scott Formosa. And 10th, Tommy Allen Jr. So that is kind of the truck points. This is the third race in the truck series. So I'm surprised we haven't seen more truck races this season.
Did see some shuffling of the schedule. Keep in mind the trucks. 3 of the next 4 races including tonight on the schedule before we make that run up to the forming 16. Just about less than a minute to go left in qualifying before we get things underway tonight. Of note, Garrett Pick back in the field tonight. Remember, he's been strong in every start this season, was top of the board in practice, did not qualify, however. James Seawright, who is second in practice, top of the board in qualifying over Freeman McCrary, Tyler Truex, and Noah Rainwater, a senior airman of the North Carolina Air National Guard, who is still serving a weekend per month, 40 total hours each weekend throughout each month.
Yeah, that's a lot of dedication there for sure from him. Definitely honor him for sure. And I do want to talk about, I do believe, one of the admins that actually doesn't participate in the racing itself, Jake Clarkson. I do believe he's in the Army currently, has been in there for 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. Does appear we're going to be starting heat number 1, though. You mentioned James Seawright. He's going to be starting up on the pole. Tyler Truex is going to be starting second place. Ryan Truex, Tyler's, I do believe, cousin, if I'm not mistaken, starts in third place. Fourth place, or Josh Ball, I should say. Fifth place, Roger Diebold. Sixth place, Goslin. Seventh place, Steve Lashinsky. Eighth place, Nicholas Tomlinson. Ninth, Brandon Schumann. 10th, Burleson. Of course, rounding out 11th and 12th is Newkirk and TJ Lee. Going to be interesting to see how this works. Justin?
Yes, driver's going to have an interesting night, to say the very least, when it comes to this race week and throughout the entire weekend of the railroad. But, of course, virtual action on the docket. Now, with this being the short track format, again, how it works tonight, all drivers get at minimum 125 laps. That's 25 laps in the heat, then 100 for the feature. In turn, had to make sure you're up towards the front to make sure you advance the heats. 3 total heats, top 5 advance, and then after that, just a few drivers make it from the cutscene up to the feature for the field. So some drivers may go home if they don't have the pace from the get-go tonight.
Yeah, definitely could be something that we're going to have to keep an eye on here. Of course, North Wilkesboro, definitely a crazy track. I mean, not a whole lot of you can go side by side here quite a bit, but I do believe we're going to probably see some beating and banging. We've seen these Thunderclap guys come to the short tracks before, and they've always been very exciting. But then again, a lot of race parts, I think, are left on the track when they're done.
One DNS of note, TJ and Lee did not take the grid and is not in the garage area currently for the heat race tonight. See how things play out this evening. We head off to the TLC start zone. Quite happy with us for Thunderclap salutes at North Wilkesboro. Green flag is out. We're underway from North Carolina.
A really big start there on the top side. I do believe that is Tyler Truex. He had a really good jump there when the green flag flew. He took the lead early, going to show the top side being very strong. And I think North Wilkesboro is definitely attractive. The top side, or the middle group, I should say, is very powerful when you're trying to defend against passes.
So Tyler Truex quickly up to the race lead for the first lap. Ryan Truex amongst those in traffic, seen side by side though, amongst those, Diebold on the bottom. There goes Tomlinson, and a slide from Goslin checks everyone up.
Yeah, this is that track, that, especially with how hot it is, it's going to be so hard to get the power down to the pavement. Oh, big wiggle there from Josh Ball, almost spins it out, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say, keeps it together and is able to maintain the momentum. I know Ryan Truex is probably wanting to capitalize on that, but luckily for Ball, that was not the case. He's going to really have to be careful. You can see these cars, or these trucks, I should say, very twitchy.
Not a surprise with how hot this racetrack is, but also just the driving conditions of the racetrack. Old pavement here. And keep in mind, the iRacing scan is supposed to mimic the 1987 version of this racetrack. Hence why you don't see the grandstands in 3 and 4, the pit lane stretching around to the entry of Turn 3. This surface is not easy to drive on. In fact, throughout this past week in the real world, the surface not easy to drive on before some of the storms.
Yeah, that's definitely something that's going to be really interesting. I think I even heard you before the race that they're going to be rescanning this racetrack. We're looking back at Diebold right now. Of course, Roger Diebold trying to see if he can't possibly get up there to tussle with the 71 of Gosselin. I also see, I thought James Seawright was getting ready to possibly pounce on Tyler Truex, but not quite able to get there. But looking back at Diebold now, looking for any way to get possibly by.
This is for the bubble spot, keep in mind. Diebold looking to get himself down. Lucky, not able to get himself down underneath Gosselin quite yet, but a chance opening up soon. Justin Gosselin really trying to play the lines. This does not look like an easy task, though, compared to what we're seeing from Diebold at the NLN truck.
Yeah, it looks like it's incredibly hard to pass right now. Diebold just not really able to do anything, but we know that he is one of those guys that's really good at the long run. We kind of have dubbed him the long run king in a lot of ways, and he definitely showed that last week as he goes side by side on the top. Look at that. I mean, what a move there for him, and this is really going to be interesting to see. This is going to really show us what the feature is going to look like. Is it going to be are there going to be the ability to pass on top? It looks like there is, but Justin Gosselin, it's really loose there on the exit there. I do believe.
Trouble. James Seawright crashes from the top 4. No caution. We stay green.
Yeah, one thing about this series, it has to have multiple cars involved in order for the caution flag to fly. So that is going to be a heartbreaker for James Seawright there. If you take a look at the replay.
James Seawright, he's had a wild season, some speed as an independent, but around he goes from second.
Yeah, I think he just overcorrected there. You can see he got loose on the exit, tried to keep in the gas, and tried to see if he couldn't change, put too much input in it. I think that's what spun him out there.
The Winter Haven, Florida driver, significant damage. We stay green, and now a tough situation for him to battle through. Speaking of up towards the front, though, Tyler Truex now having a little bit more breathing room.
Justin Gosselin with a big problem. Sorry to interrupt. Oh, huge hit. That is 3 cars involved. And there is a blown engine, I do believe, from the 52 of Brandon Schumann.
Caution is out. Burleson also involved. Gosselin, a blown motor. Oh, Ronnie Schumann with the tow. So let's take a look at the replay. Our first Eagleswood Creations caution flag comes down the front stretch.
Yeah, it almost looked a lot like what Seawright had. It just was on exit. Look at this. Bam! That was huge hits for both of those drivers.
Nowhere to go is the tough break.
Just unfortunate there. Of course, you see Gosselin's on pit road right now, a lap down along with Brandon Schumann. You hate to see it. Burleson also. So, I mean, that is 3 trucks that are already out of this heat and going to be having to go to the LCQ for, the last chance.
So, in turn, 3 drivers left with a chance to be able to move into the transfer spots with about 12 to go, making 11 to go this upcoming time by. Here's what Schumann's seeing, the Kingston, New York driver.
Yeah, I think he was having a problem seeing as well, just considering Burleson was coming as well at Gosselin and probably just didn't see him at the right time, and unfortunately was not able to avoid that incident. And of course, these trucks, one thing about them that are unlike, I'd say, the Next Gen or the Xfinity, is that when you hit on the front nose of these trucks, they blow very easily. It's almost like there's a landmine on the front of these trucks.
Very tough hit indeed for Schumann. Real-world competitors in terms of real-world crew members working with Stuart Friesen. So under caution coming to 10 laps to go in this respective heat. I'll take time to remind you that the cautions are brought to you by Eagleswood Creations, your one-stop shop for your laser engraving needs. From wood to acrylic, custom signs, earrings, keychains, coasters, and much, much more. Located in West Creek, New York, but shipping nationwide. Items can be purchased and custom-made via Etsy, so the website eagleswoodcreations.com. Follow them today on Etsy, Facebook, and Eagleswood Creations on Instagram. Under caution, about a 9-lap shootout expected here. The pace lights going out on the truck. up at the front. Tyler Truex, onside ball. Then it's D-Bullet and Ryan Truex. Tomlinson on the bubble, though. Not going to be as easy, though, because that caution helps Seawright close up. Lachinsky also on that preferred outside groove.
Yeah, definitely seemed like on that first start, the outside groove was definitely the place to be. So let's see if Josh Ball, what he can do with this. I'll tell you what, who's been shining at probably his best race thus far this week or this season. Tyler Truex, big wiggle though off the start.
Off through the TLC restarts on the Truex brothers with a perfect timing. That helps Tomlinson out as well. He is also a part of that camp. Lachinsky losing ground in the battle for the bubble spot. Ryan Truex looking for second.
Yeah, trying to pass on the bottom. Looks like he might be successful. I don't know. Ball gets a good run out of turn 4. Still side by side for second place. There's a cluster of race cars also fighting for third right now.
Lots of side by side. Yeah, there's D-Bullet indeed coming to the outside. Tomlinson a bit of love tapping. Lachinsky trying to make the very top of the racetrack work. Does that line work? He has to try it. He's out in the second groove.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to make it work. I mean, he's getting a good run. A little bit of a wiggle there from James Seawright. Look at this. That 99 is really making that top groove work. He gets good exits, but he seems like he loses it in the middle of the corner. Almost some contact there with Seawright.
Looked like a bit of fender scraping as well, keep in mind, as a result of that checkup. Lachinsky, clear for 6th. Coming to 5 laps to go. One of the Tyler Truex racing trucks trying to hold on to the transfer spot. Lachinsky, one of the military veterans, looking to find a way to ramp it down the hillside. He's in the wall.
I love this racetrack. So unique. You're able to use so many different grooves that you would not expect to work as they still race side by side even after he hit that wall. But you see, for the most part, everybody, I do believe, in the top 5 has single filed out.
Coming to 4 to go. Seawright forced to settle back in. Lachinsky sending it as hard as he can at this point. How long can you make that work with this being such a bottom to diamond line almost-esque racetrack?
I don't know. Oh, big slide job there from James Seawright. Slides right up in front of the 99. What a move. You saw the contact there to the front nose of Lachinsky, and definitely some damage on the rear of Seawright as well.
Talk about parking the bus there.
Yeah, he was desperate to make that move. Of course, that does not get him into, I do believe, the feature, or guarantee him a spot, I should say. He's only in 6th, so he definitely has some work to do, and there's not a lot of time left.
However, that is potentially going to be the pole spot for the LCQ. Meanwhile, one to go presented by RL Productions. Up at the front, Tyler Truex leading the whole way in the heat. All losing ground in these past few laps. But in the case of Tyler Truex, very consistent from the onset in this heat. Strong in quality, strong in the heat. Your pole sitter for tonight's feature is Tyler Truex in the 69.
Definitely a great job there from Tyler Truex. I think he has had his best performance here tonight thus far. Hopefully he can keep that going, and going to be really huge to have that pole position.
So once again, your top 5 advancing: Tyler Truex, Ball, Ryan Truex, D-Bullet, Tomlinson. That brings us to heat number 2. It's Freeman starting up at the front. Keep an eye on John Freeman. He tries to hold off no rainwater on the start. Then in the 3rd spot is the 81 truck of Dennis. Dennis taking over the charter from Louis Robinette, as mentioned earlier this season. Greg Vile having several warnings for banner issues coming into tonight. Elected to avoid the warnings and still keep his old banner. He'll start 4th. Jordan Jurassic in 5th with Matt Cherry in 6th. Then you have Montgomery and Condon in the top 8. Justin Clapper in 9th. Adam Schramm in 10th. And Garrett Pick, top of the board in final practice, not at the track right now for tonight's heat races. A very big blow for somebody who started off the season with the victory, has taken part in only 3 races, and every time we've seen Garrett Pick has race-winning speed. Although last time he raced, it was a 58-lap lead night where he crashed at Las Vegas.
Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, he could have definitely had race-winning speed here tonight, possibly to get himself a good heat finish, but unfortunately not going to make the grid here. Hopefully, he at least makes it into the LCQ. But Freeman has been one that has been strong all season long. I expect a lot from this 5 machine, but Noah Rainwater has shown a lot of heart.
As mentioned, Rainwater, one of the military veterans, been serving for a fairly decent amount of time. As mentioned, spends a weekend per month working with the military as part of the North Carolina Air National Guard. Keep an eye on how that 05 truck in its new look here tonight plays things on the outside front row as we get set for the TLC start zone. Also of note, a few of the drivers tonight made us toward the back of the grouping, running with American flag paint schemes custom made to the admin core drivers, Robert Condon, Justin Clapper, doing that call tonight. Speaking of the call, it's time for the green. We're underway for Heat 2.
Really good restart there for Freeman. Slides right up in front of Noah Rainwater. I thought the top side was going to get a good launch like it did in that first heat, but unfortunately not the case. Freeman, oh, look at that. The 05 of Rainwater around in front of the field. Caution should fly.
Montgomery pushes him off into the wall. Matthew Montgomery getting involved. Matt Cherry also in the grass. And Raindrop getting turned into a rain puddle into the wall.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think he got loose all by himself here. Kind of on the exit. I think he had too much wheel into it or something like that, but then had some help as well as the 9 of Montgomery gets into him. And, of course, you see the 67, as you mentioned, Matt Cherry taking a trip to the grass.
Look again from Montgomery. Already was checking him in the first place, wanting to get single file, and then this happens.
Oh. Yeah, unfortunate. That was a multi-layered crash right there. Just the dominoes started falling, and of course that first domino was Noah Rainwater.
Also involved in that is said Matt Cherry driving in the SRI truck. Nowhere to go. In fact, Greg Vile picking up significant damage from it.
Yeah, Clapper got a little bit of that, but I think he got through there with, I think, minimal damage, probably just some cosmetics. But definitely what a way to start this heat off. Definitely wondering how this is going to go. I mean, does this crank up the intensity, the anxiety for these drivers, having that accident happen so early in the heat?
I mean, I have to say so a little bit. After all, Vile's in 4th with significant damage now. And you have Cherry having to deal with significant damage. Already 2 trucks out. You're talking about just 3 drivers who are outside the bubble. I mean, as a driver, my perspective to push the intensity up, how would it push yours up?
Well, I mean, it would definitely worry me a little bit here. I mean, depends. I mean, we've already seen that these guys really want to get a good heat finish. So I would be a little concerned that maybe somebody might be willing to push me around, especially in North Wilkesboro. I think this is the type of track that brings out that old school NASCAR, and that old school NASCAR involves a lot of bumping.
So our first Eagleswood Creations caution of Heat 2 as we come up to the TLC restart zone. Freeman and Dennis all of a sudden is in second. Will the Speed Kings truck lay things strongly here tonight? One of the newcomers to the season. Off and away we go for the green.
Really good start there for Dennis. Utilizing that top side. Let's see if he's able to make something happen. Looks like Freeman does get clear for the lead. Still side by side for 3rd place, though, as Jurassic and Vial duel.
Jurassic also dealing with damage from that crash, pushing up the track. Justin Clapper all of a sudden slides his way up into the transfer. Here comes the dive from Cherry.
You saw Clapper go a little bit too high there in 1 and 2 and almost got into, I do believe, Schramm. Schramm, of course, representing some Dale Earnhardt right there. He's got the Good Wrench Chevrolet.
Team a lot with that paint scheme. Very fitting here, though. Team with the intro, Dale Earnhardt, fairly successful here, to say the least, in the past. Speaking of the battles, though, Clapper up to 4th. Jurassic with the damage on the bubble. Here comes Cherry to take that away.
I think Robert
trouble.
just went around. Oh, Schramm.
Schramm puts Jurassic up. Caution flag is out for the second time of this heat, presented by Eagleswood Creations. Did Schramm just miss the braking mark?
Not quite sure. I have to take a look back at that. I was actually looking at Robert Condon because I saw he had spun right before that.
Oh, he got
it looks
loose.
like he got the curb there. I think he got loose under brake and got the curb there and then got up into Jurassic.
That adds some more damage there. You mentioned Condon. Condon did indeed tow the truck right before the caution.
Yeah, he had a spin right before this. It was a separate incident. Had nothing to do with this. Just got loose on the exit of turn 2, it looks like, and then pretty heavy contact on that guardrail there.
In turn, tow for the 25 truck. Montgomery, of note, was able to get back on the racetrack. Now we're back to 8, though, with significant damage. Jurassic also getting repairs done. Trump getting the EOL penalty as a result of this caution flag. And another tough situation for Jurassic, who showed great short track speed this season. Jurassic, also one of the military veterans as part of the U.S. Air Force for the past 3.5 years, in fact, as a senior airman. Now significant damage for the 6.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for him. I mean, like you said, he's been one of the front runners whenever we come to short track. So definitely going to be trying to see if he can't get that damage repair, get back out here. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to be a possibility, as I do believe it might be about to put him a lap down. Of course, Freeman still leads this race.
Jurassic did get back out of the racetrack. Currently nearly halfway through Heat 2, by the way. And as things tick down here under caution, remind you that this series is brought to you by TLC Incorporated, the premier service provider for lawn sprinklers, landscape, lighting, drainage services, and garage makeovers with nearly 40 years of experience. Just one day, your home can become a showcase with a new water-saving lawn sprinkler system, an energy-efficient landscape lighting system, or a brand new garage makeover and floor that will last you a lifetime. Imagine all the possibilities if you gave your yard just a little TLC. Operating in Maryland, DC, and Virginia area, call 888-PIC-TLC for more information. One to go until the restart. Freeman and Dennis, 1 and 2. Vile, Clapper, and Cherry, the top 5. And one has been an intriguing heat so far. Despite the damage, Vile running very well. You have Dennis with his best run in this entire series so far in the 81.
100%. He's definitely been looking good in that 81 for sure. I think a lot of these trucks are going to need some TLC by the end of this heat.
Green, green, green out of the TLC restart zone. Down to about 12 laps to go. Jurassic just about catching the field there. Speaking of catching to the bottom, Dennis looking for the cross. Freeman slams the door. Vile looking for third. Clapper outside.
Yeah, Clapper had a heck of a charge there on that restart. Now side by side, though, with Matt Cherry. Cherry, of course, was involved in the first crash of this heat. Still side by side for that 4th place position. Cherry trying to take it away. Not quite able to wrap the bottom like I think he needs to, getting incredibly close to Clapper's side.
Clapper able to clear by, though, and keep in mind, last time out for Clapper, it was not a fun night at Richmond. Ended up crashing the barrier, should say, as well as taking a cone and having it in his lap for his final act of the race. Speaking of act to the bottom, Vile looking for second.
Yeah, Vile's definitely looking really strong right now. Of course, that 26 has looked strong all season, has had some really close ones where he was running up front. He's looking really good right now. See if he can't take this. Oh, you see Dennis getting really loose through the center of the corner. I'm wondering if that was under braking. Maybe it's very easy to lock these trucks up.
You can also see just how much smoke is getting kicked up, how close they're driving to the wall. It's very easy, as you can tell, just to drive into the fence, and that seems to be doing that too.
Yeah, for sure. This is a track that you want to try to use every bit of the asphalt out here to arc the corners. This is definitely a little bit of an odd-shaped racetrack, but I love it so much. So glad that iRacing has brought it to life, as, of course, you see Freeman's just pulling away right now, and he loves to see that Dennis and Vile are starting to kind of duel a little bit here.
The cushion building up quickly for Freeman, now nearly a full second. One of the JCR trucks up at the front. Dennis for Speed Kings in second. Vile, its own team grouping, in third. Clapper and Cherry in the transfer spots. Incredible so far for Cherry, at least, with the significant damage. Still able to hold on despite that. It also helps when the battle for 6th is also scrapping behind, nearly scraping.
Yeah, they are fighting hard. You see Jurassic. He's probably a little upset with Schramm at the moment. Just considering those two got involved in a crash just a little bit ago. It looks like Jurassic side by side. He's got the bottom side contact.
Oh, door-to-door contact yet again. There goes Schramm back to 7th. Jurassic, first driver out of the transfer.
Yeah, I don't think Schramm's too happy. I don't know if I'd want to see a Goodwrench Chevrolet in my rearview mirror. The Intimidator, if you will.
Despite the damage, though, Jurassic pulling away from the Intimidator paint scheme as we come to 3 laps to go in this heat on this 0.63-mile facility. Cherry still on the bubble. Is this enough time for Cherry to hold on, or what will Jurassic do? That time by the stripe, Jurassic a little bit quicker by 3/10 actually. He's coming.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch Cherry. He is having some major handling woes right now. I think Jurassic could possibly get by him. I mean, it just depends on if Cherry fights him hard or not. But you could definitely see, I think, the damage on the rear end of Cherry's race car is affecting the handling quite substantially.
Lap and a half to go. Jurassic looking for the top 5 on the recovery. Cherry pushes him up. Coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go, presented by RL Productions for the heat. Jurassic gets the crossover. Cherry tries to avoid the wall. Jurassic with the bottom line off the turn 1. One more chance for Jurassic as Cherry slides it up.
Yeah, I think Cherry having this top side is really smart. He's going to really be able to defend this. I think the only thing Jurassic can do is maybe pay a bumper, but a little bit of a touch on the curb as they finish this lap. That will end heat number 2. Freeman with the victory.
Freeman, Dennis, Vile, Clapper, and Cherry the top 5. Jurassic just not enough time is the first one out. Also amongst the LCQ field now, Schramm, Montgomery, many more. Speaking of many more drivers looking to settle themselves in, 11 more ready to take to the grid for heat number 3, our final heat race this evening. I mentioned the speed of McCrary in the short tracks of the 88 truck. Mark McCrary, the pole sitter, with Sean Bounty second in the points overall in second. Chance Leahy in the 3rd spot. Then it's Greg McConey in the tribute truck in 4th. Matt Garrett in 5th. Then you have Reed Foley in the 6th position. Scott Famosa as well as Cherrick in 8th. Daniel Half starts in 9th, Alan Marshall in 10th, and 1 other driver's in the field. The youngster, J.D. Woodward, starts shotgun. He did not set a qualifying time. In fact, is the only driver in this entire field who did not set a qualifying time to actually take part in the heat races tonight.
Definitely interesting to note that. I know J.D. Woodward, he's a survivor, though. He's that kind of driver that you got to keep an eye on. He usually does pretty well. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. But McCrary, another one who's starting on the pole for this heat, he's very strong. But then again, I don't know how you face a man like Sean Bounty. We have seen that guy pull off good finish after good finish.
It's not going to be easy here. So, how do you play this race now, knowing what we've seen with some of the fall-off and also what we've seen in turn just with some of the battling here tonight?
I mean, I would look at that top side. I think Sean Bounty, he's a restart expert. I mean, we've seen him kind of really be able to make a lot of hay, a lot of success on the top side at other racetracks that are like this. So I would not be surprised to see him really pull something off here. But definitely going to be a thing of survival. I think that these guys, they're going to end up beating and banging. There's some guys that are not going to finish this heat, and you want to be one that does.
Green, green, green for the TLC start zone, and for the second of 3 heats, the outside line with a better run. Poundy able to keep up with McCrary. Poundy to the race lead, and once again, the bottom side not where you want to be.
It's very interesting. It's almost like starting on the pole is not a good thing. It seems to be. But Bounty's starting to pull away already. As we see, of course, McConey making a big move here. Of course, he's in the tribute scheme, representing, I do believe, some of his family members. He moves up to second. McCrary goes from the pole now to 4th and in danger of losing even that.
Leahy amongst those in the vicinity as well. The Tunnel to Towers machine a little bit near contact, and just like that, McCrary all the way to the bubble just about.
And look at Reed Foley as well, up to 3rd place. This guy, of course, had, I do believe, a win here recently. And he's definitely, you can see the momentum. Oh, some problems there, I do believe, from Sherrick. I tell you, he has had a rough couple last weeks, that 83, all the way now to last.
Jarek, some troubles as he drops on back. The RFK fabricator all the way back as a result of that situation there. Back to 11th specifically. Looking up towards the front, though. Couple of battles. Famosa and company looking to battle. Sean Bounty looking to run away 9/10 up already. 3/10 quicker a lap right now.
Wow, big moment there for Matt Garrett and Alan Marshall. Kind of almost at the same time. Those guys are racing each other really hard. Got really sideways off of turn 2, I do believe. See McCrary now trying to get underneath Leahy for that, I do believe, 4th place position.
He's still not giving it up, though, in that 34 truck. Chase Leahy from the state of New Jersey, one of the mid-pack motorsports trucks. Looking to try and hold on to one of those transfer spots. Keep in mind, a long-time YouTuber, also a sales executive from around the region that ran dirt racing for 4 years.
He's definitely using that middle groove fairly well. Reed Foley, a little bit of contact on the wall there. As here comes McCrary, really close to the back end of Leahy. Feel that 88's desperate to make something happen here. He's getting inches off of that back bumper.
Nowhere to go, though. Keep in mind, Matt Garrett is the next driver behind them. Transfer spot. Way up the track again. You can just see some of that elevation we're talking about, how it's downhill at this part of the track. All the way near the highway, in fact. Then you go back uphill for 3 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, from the view that we have up here in the broadcast booth, it's hard to, really see the elevation changes. But let me tell you, that problems there for the 83 of Sherrick once again.
Sherrick coming out of the grass. We stay green for the time being. This was in the battle for second and last with J.D. Woodward.
I wonder if there was any... Oh, this had multiple parts to it other than that. It looks like J.D. Woodward spun the 83.
That was Alan Marshall up in the wall. The 8 truck.
Yeah, that was a hard hit on the wall there from Alan Marshall.
There's a look over to Marshall right now. After that hard slam, you see how much that fender's crunched in. And it seems, depending on how hard he hit the wall, it absolutely destroys you.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it looks like it's almost like tenfold on the side of that race truck. Of course, these walls don't really have the safer barriers that we see in modern NASCAR. Sean Bounty, definitely dominant run so far here as we cross the halfway point of heat number 3. Of course, he's been running fast lap after fast lap. Now, last time by McConey did match lap times to him. We do have a battle here once again, I do believe, between Matt Garrett and Leahy now. That is for the 5th place position, so this is for the transfer position.
Remember, Garrett played some strategy last time out of the short tracks. Looking to try and use the moves in the bottom, though. Utah Truex trucks. Famosa also joining the fray. Oh, and now bubble up the track. Leahy with the run. Coming to 11 to go.
Yeah, this is such an interesting track. I mean, you really can't hold the bottom as well as you'd want. You have to diamond it some way. So that guy on the top, if he kind of pinches you down, it's so hard to get a run. Matt Garrett, though, looks like he was successful in moving up to 5th.
Almost looked like he pinched up. Leahy in the wall again.
You see Scott Formosa going to see if he can't possibly take advantage. And I think he might. He's getting a good run off of turn 4. Oh, that was close.
Leahy giving him tons of space as a result of that. Still side by side, though, just outside the transfer spots as a result here. Now, under 10 laps to go in this respective race. Heat number 3, top 5 advance, remember. These drivers need to get themselves up to the 3 truck. Bounty still leading now by 1.2 seconds. Here's the thing. McConey, who started off a little bit slower tempo, is coming. So is Foley. So is McCrary. Bounty may have used up some of that goodie on those Goodyear Eagles with how hard he pushed here.
Yeah, I think that's a lesson. Definitely something we need to watch out for later in this race, in the feature especially, because he's running a tenth faster than Sean Bounty right now. I think that's going to be very relevant later as we see side by side. I do believe Leahy and Scott Formosa, they have been side by side for quite a while now.
They've already lost 1 second up to Garrett. Formosa still looking to clear in the 80, and into the wall again is Leahy.
Leahy is becoming very good friends with that wall. And also we see Foley, of course, trying to hold off McCrary for that third spot. Of course, Foley kind of running the middle groove. You see McCrary running a little bit closer to the bottom.
You're going to see just the different lines being utilized in the second grouping right now. You mentioned that first grouping up the road involving the 15 to the 88 as well. Some drivers just like running that outer groove. Some like to try to wrap the bottom, and some like in the in-betweens.
Yeah, I think this track has so many options of what you could do. It's unlike a lot of different short tracks that you see, very much, in your hands on what you want to do. Some grooves are going to work better for others. But I think what really is going to matter is how they wear your tires. Maybe not in these heats, but it's going to matter in the feature. Still poking, no dice. Leahy, meanwhile, has just towed his truck in the 34. Oh, no. We stay green. It was an issue down the backstretch in the battle for about 7th. Let's take a look. Of course, you see J.D. Woodward there side by side. I'm curious what happened here. Maybe another contact. Whoa, real loose into the outside wall. Who was that got into him there? I think that was Alan. Was that Alan Marshall?
That was Cherrick. No, Daniel Half. That was Half. That was Half, pardon.
The 32 of Daniel Half, and unfortunately, Leahy having to take a tow. That was a hard lick for him. Good driving, though. Good heads-up driving for the 32, because that could have ended his race as well. He was able to really keep it going in the right direction. We were talking about Bounty, though, how McConaughey was really starting to catch up to him. That is not the case any longer. Bounty is still starting to pull away once again. 1.7 seconds is the gap.
John Bounty finding his groove, coming to the 1 to go, presented by RL Productions. Final lap. Bounty, 2 W's in the season campaign so far. Starts off with the most dominant heat race victory of the evening here at North Wilkesboro. Checker flag is out. Bounty with the heat race victory. McConaughey, Foley, McCrary, and Matt Garrett all advance with them to the feature race. Famosa, Woodworth, Half, Marshall, Cherrick, and Leahy all have to go to the LCQ. That starts up in the next few seconds. And here's the thing about that LCQ. It's not going to be easy to make it out. 10 drivers advance, 9 go home. Who advances is the question. James Seawright came so close after his troubles from the top 2 to start off his heat. He'll start on the pole for this LCQ. Jurassic, Famosa, Lachinsky the top 4. Trom, Woodward, Newkirk quietly up in 7th for the start. Montgomery in 8th. Half and Burleson your top 10, Brian.
Of course, Condon's going to be starting in 11th, Marshall 12th, Schumann 13th, Rainwater 14th, Sherrick in 15th, Gosselin 16th, Pick in 17th, Leahy 18th, and Lee in 19th. So this is going to be almost a 20-car field, the most trucks we've seen on this racetrack tonight. So this is going to be really telling on what this feature is going to look like.
So 17 drivers taking the green here. Pick and Lee not in the field, as they did not take part in the heat race and are not here for tonight's LCQ. Just 20 laps, 15 minutes to get the job done. So less time to work with. How do you make sure you're in that top 10 tonight to advance? Otherwise, you're going home already.
Survive. I think that's going to be the big thing. You got to think there's going to be a lot less room on this racetrack, considering we've only seen 11 drivers thus far on the racetrack at one time. So I think there's going to be more contact, even though we even have less laps. I think the best thing is just survive. Try to survive in advance. And if you're James Seawright, I definitely would want to try to keep that track position, because I know Jurassic is going to really want to make something happen here.
So get ready for the green flag. I'd like to remind you tonight's action brought to you in part by RL Productions, a Baltimore-based national video marketing agency specializing in video marketing solutions and commercial advertising. For more information, go to rlproductioncrew.com to turn your expectations into real-life productions. Up at the front, Seawright and Jurassic, both drivers in the top 5 early in their heat races, both finishing just outside the mark of so. Green is out. We're underway, and a tire spin for Seawright that'll hit into the wall for Jurassic.
Yeah, not a good start as well for Scott Formosa. He just did not get going there. Might have been in the wrong gear. He's going to fall all the way back, I do believe, the 5th now.
Still under attack by Montgomery. Oh, in some trouble. Back of the group. First Eaglewood Creations caution of the heat. It's Alan Marshall going around in the 8 truck in the battle for 12.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Alan Marshall. Love that paint scheme. Looks like, let's see exactly what took place here. We saw a slow card there on the bottom. I don't think that had anything to do with it. Condon into the 8. I think the 8 kind of was trying to clear himself. Just did not have room to come down there.
I believe that might have been Kyle Newkirk having an issue coming down the back straightaway on the bottom there. But that takes away a few laps just like that. Marshall, a second incident involved in tonight. So Seawright, Jurassic, Lachinsky, Woodward, Famosa now the top 5. How do you make sure you don't do that start again?
Well, I mean, for Formosa, I'd say make sure you're in the right gear and maybe paying attention. I mean, I don't know. It's very difficult. I mean, but then again, I mean, a lot of other tracks, they have the restart zone. This one does have a somewhat of a restart zone, but it's a lot more narrow. So I think you can predict when that leader is going to go a lot easier here. So I think you just make sure that you time it right. I think that's going to be the huge thing.
So, should be worth noting the start is under review, Brian.
Uh-oh.
So that could get intriguing. Remember, Seawright had tire spin on the inside. Jurassic hit the wall on the outside. And then he had the bogged down start, as we just mentioned, from 3rd place.
I'm wondering what they're seeing. I hope we can get that information so we can relay it. But definitely interesting. I'm going to take a replay here, I do believe, of the restart.
Remember, this is how the race started here. There are 1 to go now. This is from the initial start.
Yeah, I don't really see a problem with that start. I think that they both made mistakes, but I don't think they went early or anything.
It is a very quick restart box here for the TLC restart zone. The second the pace truck gets off here, it usually means green. There's your example. Green flag is up, 15 to go.
Really good restart there from Seawright that time around. I think he learned his lesson. Jurassic, of course, has second secured. They're side-by-side for 3rd place right now. J.D. Woodward and Lashinsky battling it out.
James Seawright for the initial start. Lane change violation called. Crash in turn 4. 3 trucks around. Caution is out. Half Newkirk and Leahy. Seawright has just been given a black flag for a green flag penalty for a lane change.
Oh, no. Heavy damage as well, I do believe. I'm trying to figure out who that is. A lot of smoke coming out of some of these race cars. I think that was Daniel Half. Taking a look back at this accident here. Looks like issues for Sherrick that kind of kicked it off. Or maybe Daniel Half. Both of them are purple cars, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Well, it was definitely Half. That truck is now down to half power, likely.
Yeah. Definitely is. You see right here, he lost it under braking. Just broke. He braked way too late, asked too much of the tire.
So, from my understanding, based on the explanation given to Seawright currently, once again, the 2 front trucks set the lane. Apparently, when Seawright had the tire spin, he had a half a lane up into the lane of Jurassic.
That's interesting. I mean, this is that penalty. I'm not questioning race control at all, but that penalty is a death sentence for Seawright's race here to get into the feature. He's going to need a caution or something to happen whenever he goes on pit road in order to stay on the lead lap, because he's going to go multiple laps down if he has to serve.
And here's the important thing to mention here, too. The second restart, if it ends up being that one, was very close in the first place as well. In fact, just confirmed with the replay, if we can get to the second restart or second start of this race, Seawright was already into the lane of Jurassic at the start and finish line. So I think it's this one out, the first one now. You can argue both ways.
He did jump up in front of Jurassic fairly early. I can see kind of what they're saying here as we look back at this. He gets going and jumps up very quickly.
And Seawright has now been given an EOL penalty, so he will not be able to control the restart here. Jurassic is now your leader, technically, over Woodward.
I can only imagine what James Seawright is probably saying right now. He is not probably happy at all, because, I mean, this has really just put his race. This is the sirens are going off right now, because he's probably going home. Green flag back out, though, as we exit the TLC restart zone.
Oh, and Jurassic in the wall again. Woodward up to the race lead. Just past halfway in this LCQ. It's been a wild one. It's 2x2 for the battles for the top 10.
And what a performance for J.D. Woodward, now up to the lead. I think he almost got a gift because of that EOL from Seawright.
Still side-by-side grouping up. Rainwater Muscles trying to keep it clean. Montgomery trying to sort things out here. Lots of shuffling, by the way. In the 10th position right now is Brandon Schumann for the time being. That's 3 wide, though, too. Make it spinning around from 10th. That's Condon getting into him for the caution.
That is unfortunate. Go from being in the feature to spinning around and taking a tow. Huge hits, too.
Just could see it coming. Offset 3. Well, full 3. And then that.
Yeah, Condon just got up there into the 52. This is not a track to go 3 wide at. It's very difficult to maintain something like that. And they tried to split him there and just was not able to make it. There was just not enough room for another truck in there.
Robert Condon given the EOL as a result of that. But Jurassic has not done a good job restarting-wise so far. J.D. Woodward, after starting dead last in his heat, now from 6th to 1st in the LCQ.
Now, my question is, I think this might have just saved James Seawright's race. Because he's still on the lead lap, and I think he already served his penalty.
Yeah, we'll see how this all plays out here. Seawright currently last in the lead lap in 14th. So now, that's going to be the difficult part. How do you pass, well, 3 trucks? Make it 13th, I should say.
Well, I mean, if anybody can do it, I think Seawright can. I mean, he's an aggressive driver. He's going to find a way to try to do it. It just depends on how, I'd say, clean it's going to be. Of course, he does have a fire lit underneath him. I mean, we're 4 laps to go right now, and I do believe we're going to probably be restarting with possibly 3 laps to go, possibly.
It looks like maybe. Yeah, this might be a 2-lap shootout indeed here. We are good on time by 6 minutes currently, so enough time for at least the GWC attempt, and it's borderline from there. So we'll see how it all plays out. Shout out to Lashinsky, currently in the 4th spot. One of the military veterans in the field tonight. Spent several years in the U.S. Army from 2004 to 2008, then the National Guard until from 2008 to 2012, all while being the 92B, which is an all-wheel mechanic as part of the military.
Yeah, he also served in Iraq and Egypt, which is really interesting.
And it looks like, as the lights still stay on top of the iRacing pace truck, laps look to be extended here for the potential of the GWC on the trigger next time by.
Yep, looks like we're definitely going to have us a green-white checkered here. Of course, if we make it to the white flag, that will end it. Of course, I think it'll end it either way, because I don't think they have another green-white checker, do they?
Driver's getting himself situated. J.D. Woodward wants the top.
This is the first time we've seen anyone do this, and I think it's very smart. I think this is really, really smart.
So Woodward choosing the outside. Famosa with a chance to try and win the LCQ now in 2nd. Lachinsky, Jurassic, Montgomery, your top 5 drivers now. Goslin, all of a sudden, is on the bubble along with Alan Marshall. So it's time for RL Productions overtime. They're bumping in the back. The green is out, 2 to go.
And this is why he chose
Oh, in
that
trouble!
top side.
Lachinsky doesn't get going! Everybody stacks up in turn one! Lachinsky, Marshall, several more slam the wall. As the caution is out, James Seawright is in 11th at the time of caution.
Not good enough. That is unfortunate, and definitely some big hits there. I mean, that was a cluster right there of race trucks. Take a look back at this accident. This is like you said, they were beating and banging right at right when the start was getting ready to happen too.
The sub drivers didn't get the memo, and then you have Lachinsky. Wow, that was definitely the money shift.
Yeah, it looks like he spun the tires. Like you said, I think that had something to do with shifting.
It didn't even look like tire spin. That almost looked like the truck, Brian, just went straight down on the shocks.
Yeah, that's an interesting one right there. Take a look. Yeah, through the cockpit, this is definitely going to be telling, I'd say.
Take a listen.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything to do with his shifting.
It almost looked like it got jammed on the limiter. That's a weird one. I think.
Yeah, that was definitely an odd one right there. But it does look like I think we do have another attempt here for green, white, checkered. I think these guys want to finish this under green.
It's going to be close. We have less than 30 minutes on the clock for the LCQ to determine who advances. Still, of note, Cherrick is now in the bubble with that incident. James Seawright, the first out. Alan Marshall and Robert Condon, significant damage, are trying to finish it out. So now, what else can happen is what you can say, I guess. What is going to happen here? At least two trucks now are skewed with the damage. It looks like Woodward is choosing the top again.
Yeah, I think that was a very smart call. I mean, it worked out very well for him. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I mean, I think these guys could end up having the same issue again. Are we even going to have enough time to finish this? Pace car lights still have not gone out yet.
Drivers still sorting themselves out here before we get the one to go, and it's going to be a tight trigger here. 1 minute, 45 seconds on the clock. Looks like we'll get the 2 laps in. The next caution ends the LCQ likely. So, Woodward, Famosa, Montgomery, Jurassic, Rainwater, Burleson, Schramm, Gosselin, Cherrick, Leahy amongst your top 10. Marshall, Seawright, and Condon are the drivers out and are trying to avoid a chance to not race tonight. They want to race. They do not want to be the ones watching up in the Junior Johnson grandstands tonight. Coming up to the TLC restart zone. Green, green, green. J.D. Woodward with a great launch outside.
Scott Formosa, though, pretty good launch there. Not quite able to get side by side with Woodward. But you see Montgomery. Look at Montgomery. He's definitely had a heck of a recovery here tonight, battling with Jurassic right now for that third place position. Rainwater moves up now to fourth.
Montgomery way up the track, 2 wide. White flag is out, 1 to go. Presented by RL Productions for the LCQ. Burleson inside. Rainwater looking for spots. Contact around his Schramm. The wrecking for the bubble spot. Who's going to get the final transfers? The question is, it's Alan Marshall up to 10th. At the checkered flag up front, it's J.D. Woodward who wins the LCQ. At the back of the field, it's Alan Marshall who holds on as they crash at the line.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. Of course, Seawright going to be that first driver that goes home.
9 drivers going home. But the field is set for the 25 looking to take the green tonight. We'll take a break. Thunderclap salutes at North Wilkesboro continuing after this break.
SRI Performance. With over 400 product lines representing the top manufacturers in motorsports, we are your one-stop shop for everything racing. 3 of our brick-and-mortar stores are located in North Carolina, and our newest facility in Brownsburg, Indiana. And 4 trackside mobile stores, you can find us spread out throughout the nation. With industry-leading knowledge, we are only a phone call away to visit our customer service experts. And don't forget, we have the world's largest inventory of used race parts. SRI Performance, and stock car steel and aluminum for everything racing.
Hey, Bob Carr here at TLC. Take a look at some of the specials we're running at TLC right now. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Storms are in the forecast, so if you have a problem with water standing in your yard, in your basement, now's the time to give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342. We'll be glad to provide you with a free, no obligation drainage proposal for your property. Give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342 or hit the link below. We'll respond back to your email, set you up for a free, no obligation quote for your drainage needs. Let's solve that once and for all. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Now's the perfect time to have your landscape lighting system tuned up for the upcoming summer months. Give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342. And let's get you some light out there. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's take it down to the booth and get updated on what's going on.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC and the Thunderclap Salutes at North Wilkesboro. Justin Prince, Brian Brett, Austin Derbyshire with you here on Grid Vision as we get ready to go racing for 100 laps and 3 total stages. Lots of intensity already showcased here tonight at this very old racetrack. And this 1987 version North Wilkesboro, it's been frying the tires. Very hot track conditions all throughout the night. How about in the 130s now for the green tonight?
Wow, of course, earlier in the heats, it was only about 126 only, I say. 126, 127. Now 132. That is going to be even worse than what we saw earlier for sure. And you mentioned it, tire wear has been a significant issue, and I think it's going to be even more of an issue here. Of course, not probably for Stage 1 or Stage 2, considering Stage 1, I do believe, ends at lap 20, Stage 2 on lap 60.
Indeed, and in turn, 60% the fuel limit here tonight. Should be just about a one-stopper on the gas. In turn with the limit. Just going to be the question, when do you take tires? After all, there are 4 tire sets available for tonight in the pits. And it's also a racetrack where in the past, if you think back to eNASCAR, Brian, think the Christian Chowders play where once most of the field during the eNASCAR Coco iRacing Series All-Star race stayed out, Christian Chowder took tires. He passed everyone and he lapped the field.
Wow. No,
So-
I think every chance you get, you're going to take tires. Stage 1, Stage 2, I think that's going to be the call. And if you get a caution in that final stage, yeah, I definitely think some guys are going to go down pit road. It really just depends. I think track position is going to be important, but those fresh tires, you're not going to be able to beat those, and there's going to be a lot of value there.
We'll see if anyone pulls off a strategy like that tonight. We see things get a little bit more like we see in the real world with the incidents today in North Wilkesboro. No spoilers, but plenty of big ones. That scene spoilers crumpled. We'll see which drivers come away with the checkered flag tonight, or which drivers look to battle it out in the end, coming to the stripe for all the positions for the points in the stages. It's time for the feature, with Tyler Truex starting on the pole tonight. John Freeman starts second, Sean Bounty and Josh Ball at the top 4. Then you have Dennis and McConaughey in row 3. Row 4, Ryan Truex and Greg Vile. Reed Foley and Roger Diebold amongst your top 10 starters.
Clapper starts 11th, McCrary in 12th, Tomlinson in 13th, Cherry 14th, Garrett in 15th, Woodward 16th, Formosa 17th, Durasic in 18th, Burleson 19th, and Rainwater rounds out the top 20.
21st spot tonight going the way of Justin Gosselin. Then you have Montgomery in 22nd, Chericola back in the 23rd position. Then it's Chase Leahy in 24th, Alan Marshall, the last to get in the LCQ, 25th. Amongst those going home tonight of note, TJ Lee, Garrett Pick, James Seawright, Steve Lachitsky, Robert Condon, Colin Newkirk, Adam Schrum, Brendan Schumann, and Daniel Half. Once again, the stage is laps 20 and 60. Then it's about a 40-lap shootout for there to get to the checker flag here tonight. Your keys to win at North Wilkesboro and get a chance to see your car pushed up that classic elevator and up into victory lane.
Well, I think the key is going to be staying up in the lead. Tyler Truex has had a phenomenal showing here so far tonight. I think if he can hold on to this lead, he'll definitely be in prime position. But then again, I think pit strategy is going to be very, very important. That decision to go down and take those tires, I think that's going to also play a big role as well. So it really is up in the air. I mean, it really just depends on what happens based on cautions.
And remember, it's crazy how things have gone in the span of 4 years since this track made its way to iRacing. Dale Jr. and several others cleaned this track up in 2019, in December, in fact. Then you have, with the pandemic, an Invitational Series race debuting this track to the iRacing service. By 2021, able to find $18 million in funding for the 2022 budget. And then its return to action just in the middle of last summer. Now tonight, Thunderclap looks to salute its military veterans and salute you, the fans, and salute history at North Wilkesboro. It's time for the Thunderclap salutes at North Wilkesboro. We're underway from North Carolina.
Really great race start there for Tyler Truex there. Really got separated from second and third. Side by side, though, Freeman and Boundy. Now, these two drivers are very strong, but Boundy definitely has shown a significant amount of speed in his heat. Still side by side, though. We see a lot of side by side throughout the pack.
Top four move on forward. The balloons sail above the racetrack. That is a very much tradition picked up from the 1980s at the facility. They pass by the floating balloons. Ball not able to pass by for third spot. Meanwhile, lots of passing behind number 5. Crash down the backstretch. It's Woodward. No caution.
Oh, Reed Foley around. Oh, man. Contact with Clapper. And there goes Jurassic into the inside wall. A lot of things going wrong. This is going to be a caution.
Caution is out. Sean Bounty at the top of the caution, also spinning to the grass. And lots to look at for our first Eagleswood Creations caution flag. Oh, wow, the balloons sail above the sky and into the air.
Yeah, definitely almost had some race trucks flying through the sky there, into the sky there. A lot of accidents on the racetrack. Oh, there goes Woodward into the guardrail. Not a heavy hit. He should still be able to continue.
Yeah, but then now the other hits come in. You seen on the front. Take a look again. Woodward, Matt Garrett apologized to the radio, Brian, from this.
Yeah, Garrett, definitely. I could see why he would apologize for that, because he got up into Woodward. Woodward was holding his line, and Garrett, I think, just got a little bit wiggly off the corner and up into him.
Here's Jurassic. He's got the EOL for the cause.
Ooh.
A little bit of a squeeze as Barney waves that yellow flag right above him.
Yeah, and that was a heavy front nose hit. That's not what you want to see at all. And I know that there was another part of that as well. Reed Foley lost it right in front of Jurassic as well.
Wow, that was a massive save, though.
Yeah, for sure. Didn't hit the wall very hard. That could have been a whole lot worse than it was. I know Clapper, really good wreck avoidance for him as well, getting through that.
So just like that, a few drivers significant damage. Nicholas Tomlinson electing to come down to pit, despite the fact it is lap 6. Jurassic also coming in for damage repair. The rest of the field staying out on the racetrack for the time being. Now, one thing to talk about as tonight progresses, there is a team standing battle to consider. Next Level just so happens to have the best total points average, 317 points entering the night over E-Tower Truex Racing. You also have JCR in the mix within 100 points. Next Level in E-Tower Truex Racing amongst those with a lot of your competitors up front right now.
Yeah, definitely. Something we don't really consider here in Thunderclap a whole lot is the team points. So glad to see that, another level of competition here. As those pace car lights have gone out, we're getting ready to get this green flag once again here on the backstretch, filing down.
Tyler Truex led every lap of his heat race earlier tonight. So far, he's led every lap of the feature. Already nearly halfway through stage 1 here at North Wilkesboro. TLC restart zone, quick way to green.
Another great restart there for Tyler Truex. Really gets it going well, and you could tell he very much is trying to avoid sliding up like we saw Seawright do. I don't think he wants to get that penalty.
Yeah, able to keep things safe, though. Freeman quickly to second. Bounty, despite being in the grass at the time of caution, now to third.
Yeah, I think that caution really saved his race for sure as he slides right up in front of Ball. Now he's going to see if he can't get up there to Freeman. I do believe, see Dennis in 7th place falling back.
In fact, the only driver inside is grouping for the time being on the bottom side, outside of Roger Diebold. Ryan Truex, Greg Feil amongst those making the pass. Same now being set for McCrary on that outside groove. Dennis is dropping quick here.
Yeah, it seems like that's no man's land to be down there on that bottom. You're just not able to get a good run off the exits, and I'm sure McCrary's happy about being up there too, just considering I know one of the heats, he was kind of locked down in that same position that Dennis was in. Version on 3 wide further back.
Yeah, there's the 2 wide. Justin Clapper avoiding Matt Cherry. Still to the inside to right the curbing. Justin Clapper, one of the pit crew members for the Rearworld NASCAR scene. Going to be intriguing for the Rearworld crews to work at this racetrack here this upcoming weekend, you have to think.
Yeah, definitely it's going to be very interesting. I mean, this is a smaller track, and it doesn't, I don't think, have the facilities yet to really hold a 36-car field that they would usually have. We'll have to wait and see how that kind of all works out. I'll tell you who's been trying to drive back through the field after his mistake was Reed Foley. He's side by side right now with Sherrick. A little bit further back here. Oh, almost some contact. I think there was a little bit of door banging there.
Just about as Sherrick avoids significant contact. Now shuffles behind Foley. Still trying to get around Gosselin. Coming up now. 7 laps to go on the stage. 6 to go this upcoming time by. Right now, Tyler Truex still holding off Freeman. They are matching lap times in the 19.4s, though. Everybody else except for Ryan Truex is in the 19.5s.
You also see Matt Garrett, I do believe, battling side by side with Noah Rainwater. Of course, Rainwater with some significant right side damage there. They are fighting, I do believe, for that 14th spot. And you can see that Formosa starting to pull away a little bit. Side by side just does not seem to be a thing you really want to do a whole lot around this place. As Matt Garrett does get the pass, a little bit wiggle off the corner there.
Starting to get that long run rhythm played out. 5 to go in the stage for the first stage of the night. Battles are forming up or bed around the racetrack. Settling down at the back, but up at the front, it's worth noting. Ball is just pinched off Bounty for the battle for third. McCody under attack by Ryan Truex as well as we look back and forth amongst the 3rd and 5th place battles.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind that Josh Ball is the points leader in the Truck Series right now. He's trying to keep it that way with this performance as he does get that position secured over Bounty. Coming here now to 2 laps to go here in the stage.
How quickly things turn around this racetrack. Keep in mind, Ball very consistently up at the front. The interesting mark in the air battle with Ryan Truex, his deepest starting spot since Daytona, when he started 18th. Already down to 2 to go on the stage. Ball, good cushion to pick up some ground. Losing ground to the leaders, keep in mind.
Yeah, Tyler Truex and Freeman have been just amazingly fast. I think they're going to be really the class of the field. I mean, last time by they were, well, Freeman himself, he's actually faster than Tyler Truex, about a 10th faster to be exact. Someone slow on the racetrack there. That is Burleson. As we come to the end of stage number 1, I do believe caution should be flying here any moment.
So caution gets right away. Let's take a quick glance at what happened to Burleson here. This stayed green for us for the extra lap for the stage.
Oh, a little bit of a hit there on the guardrail. Not too bad of a hit, though. That's what led to him being slow on the racetrack, but that does conclude stage 1.
So Tyler Truex, your stage winner for stage 1 here tonight. Freeman, Ball, Bounty, McConaughey, the top 5. Ryan Truex, Greg Vile, almost Prairie, Dennis, and Diebold all picking up stage points here in this one. So quickly under caution for the first time, Brian.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see how these guys handle everything here. I mean, I think everybody's going to be coming down pit road probably to get a fresh set of tires. We did see a little bit of fall off there, not as much as I think we saw in heat 1, 2, or 3. But yeah, here they go, falling down. No, Freeman stays out. What a call.
Tyler Truex coming in for tires, as well as McConey, Vile, D-Bull, Cherry, Clapper, and several others. We talked about the tire differences here, but half the field electing to stay out on the racetrack, Brian.
Yeah, this could be something, definitely something bad waiting to happen, I think. Because, I mean, a lot of times when you're at tracks that, tire wear is really significant, if guys stay out and there's guys on newer tires, a lot of times that does not mesh well, Justin. I mean, to where we could see maybe a powder keg getting ready to light.
This could get interesting now. 13th on back for those who just pit there. The difference about 15, 16 green flag laps on tires. One thing to note, Leahy did pick up a speeding penalty, so we'll have to drop to the very tail end of the racing field. Still 25, still with the lead lap as the bright side. As we get ourselves situated here. Now, how do you play the traffic is going to be a huge question, because that pace difference is huge here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. You just got to be patient with those newer tires. Of course, you're going to have a little bit better maneuverability, so I think that could help out quite significantly. But then again, I mean, we've seen 3 wide does not seem to work at a track like this, so I would be very careful. I mean, I would not try to push it too hard, because it could end up going not your way. I mean, fresh tires help you out a lot, but damage on the race truck does not.
One to go. Freeman, Ball, Bounty, Ryan, Truex, McCrary are top 5 for the restart. Top 12 electing not to take tires. Reed Foley has come in several times throughout this race in pit stops. He is back in 25th of note. Amongst those is a tire change. So with 75 to go, about 25, make it 35 laps till we get to the end of stage 2. Green, green, green for the TLC restart zone. Tire spin from Ball, not so much from Freeman.
Yeah, really good restart there for Freeman. Surprised he didn't get any wheel spin. You can see Ball now side-by-side with Boundy. Of course, Ryan Truex kind of looking on. We do see side-by-side as well from McCrary and Dennis fighting for the 5th spot. Tyler Truex, of course, on the newer tires, back further. And he is in a mess of a traffic jam right now, Tyler Truex is.
See the side-by-side up at the front amongst the old tires, but that traffic jam, it's much more tightly compact 2x2x2x2. Woodward, the last of those, once those on older tires with the Montgomery, already they are slamming and bumping with the newies.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking more like a, almost like how when I went to Darlington last Sunday, it was side-by-side to try to get out of the parking lot.
Oh! Marshall nearly squeezed up into the access part of the exit of the track. McConey able to avoid going off the track from that. McConey, the first of those on new tires, up to 10th.
I think we just really, really learned something here.
Important to spotters?
I don't think tires are as important as we kind of thought. I mean, just considering, caution's out.
It's for 23rd. Leahy, Burleson, we're under yellow.
Unfortunate there. Burleson and Leahy, I do believe, like you said, getting involved. See exactly what happened here in the replay.
Eagleswood Creations caution flag coming out. Again, this is the battle for second to last. Reed Foley in the wall before that.
Oh. Tell you what, Leahy has just caught it tonight. He has just had a bad night. And it looks like we have some interesting decisions on pit road. Some guys coming down here late, Montgomery. Take a look back at this accident once again. And like you said, a little contact with Foley in the wall, and Leahy, unfortunately, I think was trying to avoid it. I think he might have even followed Foley into the wall as well.
Reed Foley electing to take damage repair from that hit to the wall. Montgomery taking the tire set now for his first pit stop of the race. Scheduled at least. So race control, calling that a racing deal tonight. Amongst those in race control tonight is Jake Clarkson, a 40-year military veteran a CLAAS investigator. Now, what that means essentially is those who go AWOL during military service, it was his job to investigate and find those people.
Wouldn't want to mess with him.
I mean,
wonder he's race control, though. I mean, an investigator, that sounds like somebody that'd be good for race control. He's got probably pretty good observation skills, wouldn't you say?
That's important, absolutely, when it comes to that job, but also in terms of race control, you could say. But we're under caution. The drivers on the Freshies still behind in 10th on back. This is not over yet because Alan Marshall and J.D. Woodward, a whole row of old tires there.
It's just impossible for those guys on new tires to pass right now. It's almost like it's a traffic jam, so it really makes me think that tires, although important, if you have a bunch of traffic in front of you, it doesn't matter. You can't go anywhere.
Coming up to the TLC restart zone. Last time, Ball had some tire spin, still held on to the spot, though. Quick launch to the box. Green, green, green. Freeman this time with the worst launch. Ball to the race lead for a moment.
Great launch there for Ball. I think he learned his lesson. Side-by-side still for the lead. He gets really close to the wall. Ball still in it. This is awesome seeing this racing side-by-side for the lead. Look at Ryan Truex moving as well, battling with Boundy.
Top two of the points. Ryan Truex up. Freeman closes the door. Ball trying to rip the door back open with the crowbar. Caution is out. It's Nicholas Tomlinson in the heart of the pack of Freshies. He's stuck in the wall. Vile also involved. And we're under caution once again. Caution brought to you by Eagleswood Creations. Tomlinson created a way to get himself unstuck there.
That's good, because usually when in iRacing, if you get stuck in any sort of surface, you're stuck. You're not moving unless you take a tow. So luckily that was, he was able to fix that.
Said the traffic jam? Well, there was definitely some traffic. And definitely a jam.
Oh, Greg Vial going around as well. See, right there, that's where he got stuck. I'm surprised he was able to get out of that. Okay. So he wasn't too stuck. I know a lot of times you get stuck in the barrels. That's it. You're not moving. But luckily, somehow iRacing, I guess the iRacing Gons blessed him tonight.
Greg Vial giving cause for the caution. Here's a look once again. There were at least 3 trucks sliding into that corner. 26, the most of that.
Oh, I could see exactly why they gave that to Vial. Just consider, he kind of went up there into Matt Garrett, caught his left rear. Taking another look here, we see Matt Garrett up on the top. And right there, yep.
It almost looked like Greg was trying to get into line to the outside at the last second.
Yeah, and unfortunately he was carrying too much momentum, got on the brakes, and just slid right into Garrett.
So we're under caution again. Freeman electing to choose the top side. He's already indicated a race control. And now about 2/3 of the field has pit at least once. Alan Marshall amongst those coming down to the pit lane. During the most recent caution here, Jurassic also coming down for damage repair again.
I think this is really wise for Freeman because, he saw how good Ball was able to launch on that last one. So I think that he's like, I got to take that ability away from him. I got to get up there and start from the top and try to see if I can't replicate what he was able to do.
Keep an eye on how this plays out. The fresh tire driver still 10th on back. Woodward, the only driver on old tires mixed in with those on the fresh tires. See just how close they're trying to get right now for this TLC restart zone. 61 to go at the stripe. Green, green, green. And Freeman not so great at the top either there.
Yeah, just was not able to get the power down. Ball still on the inside. Bounty going to see if he... Oh, wow. Ball almost got into Bounty there. Somehow was able to squeeze into that area. That was barely enough room for a truck. 3 wide in the mid-pack. Greg McConey on the bottom here.
Oh, and some contact of the wall. Cherick avoids more contact to slide behind from Burleson. Burleson getting turned in front of 3 trucks. Caution not out yet. Now it is as Marshall and Foley are also involved.
Man. That is unfortunate. And this is actually, I'd say, somewhat of a blessing to the guys that are on the old tires. They're not really seeing a whole lot of wear because these cautions keep coming out. You see Burleson go around right in front of Foley, and also even Alan Marshall goes around after the fact.
Another Eagleswood Creations caution flag. And a lot of discussion on the radio. Right there.
I think Foley might have got into the rear end of the 79.
So the 789 involved in the contact there. A caution out again.
Yeah, you see Foley. He was almost bump drafting him into turn 1 there.
And then he adds a second driver.
Tell you, he's just a hitman out here tonight. He's getting a 2-for-1. It looks like he gets the EOL for it as well.
So, caution there going to Foley. Apologies over the radio from Foley as a result of that. Now, it's worth noting there's no rain in tonight's forecast compared to what happened yesterday at North Wilkesboro, where the rain did hit for a good portion of its track festivities there. But there is back in TLC's territories. If storms and showers leave your backyard flooded and no fun, give your yard a little TLC with 100% money-back guaranteed drainage solutions for your home. With nearly 40 years of experience, TLC has the experience this summer to get the water away and let your family play. Call 888-PIC-TLC for more information. It's worth noting tonight in real-world action, drivers getting the chance to play at North Wilkesboro tonight. Plenty of action in turn, Brian. We've seen plenty of action for the virtual drivers here, too. About 15 laps away from the end of the stage.
Yeah, it has definitely been a really great race. I mean, can't wait to see what NASCAR looks like here as well. But I'm telling you what, I'm getting my short track itch scratched here tonight. I mean, these guys are really putting on quite a show. You could tell how important this is to them. See John Freeman. I love what I'm seeing there from him. He's like gassing it up, hitting the brakes, gassing it up, hitting the brakes. That's something real-life drivers do a lot to keep those tires heated up.
Green, green, green out of the TLC restart zone. Freeman able to get a better launch. Ball a little squirrely. Outside of that, clean and going. Keep in mind, Deep Bull, the highest up on fresh tires, is up to 7th and coming fairly quickly.
Look at this. Really hectic battling for this lead right now. Freeman is really trying to pinch Ball down. And it looks like Ball still trying to stay underneath. Oh my goodness, so close to that rear end of Freeman.
Oh, in trouble. Turn 2. McConey off in the grass. They all save it. Now they crash with them at the other end of the backstretch. It's Gosselin around for the caution. Another Eagleswood Creations yellow. And Burleson nearly gets himself in that one at the end.
Looks like Gosselin had a hectic hit there on the outside. Or was that the 0-3 of Tomlinson? Someone just got some heavy damage. That's all I know.
Something accordion effect. I'm wondering where the accordion squeezed at the end of the straightaway, though.
Yeah, I think that was the 71 of, Gosselin there. He was the one that kind of had the most out of that, I do believe. Whoa. Burleson almost got, definitely, like you said, accordion. That was definitely an accordion. Burleson was running out of room quick. Luckily, didn't seem like it went too terribly bad. But, yeah, I think what led to that, kind of like you said, was McConey. And then, of course, after the fact, Gosselin.
So Tauber Truex amongst those coming down to the pit lane during this caution flag after that one. Tauber Truex now with some damage to deal with after everything that just happened in this stack up.
And you see it kind of, McConey actually going around, I think came as a result of Matt Cherry getting into him there. But interesting pit strategy. And I think Tyler Truex is probably regretting coming down pit road when he did earlier, because, I mean, that put him in the danger zone to receive that damage.
What's the saying? Track position is king?
Yeah, it is.
Gosselin and Sherrick amongst those significant damage repairs currently. So Freeman, Ball, Ryan Truex, Sean Bounty amongst those keeping it out there. Diebold, though, has a chance at the stage after taking that tire set. He's up to 6th. And the outside line seems to be the more safer line to pass on old tires.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, he'll have a little bit better maneuverability. He doesn't have as much traffic that he has to go through. So if anybody can make new tires actually worth something, I think it'll be Diebold. We'll have to wait and see.
Less than 10 to go on the stage. Remember, stage 2 ends on lap 60. Freeman's led 28 of 50 laps. Majority of the laps in this stage. Ball leading a lap after tire spin earlier. The TLC restarts on a quick green. Freeman a much better launch out of all of them.
And Bounty with a really good launch as well. He's side by side now with Ball. Can Bounty capitalize? Looks like Ball gets separated. Really good exit.
Gonna paint the bottom near contact. Diebold, a little bit slippy slidey. Now up to 5th, trying to find a way to get around this battle.
Definitely also a cluster further back. Verging on, we were almost 3 wide there, back where I do believe Woodward is.
For reference, Woodward amongst those back in the 10th spot, still on old tires on survival. There's a look at Woodward. Everybody else behind him has pit at least once.
You see Clapper getting really high. Clapper's having a problem wrapping around the bottom. And that's, oh, yellow flag is out. That is Sherrick.
And back under yellow for the 25th position. Well, now in 25th. It was 23rd for Sherrick entering the lap.
Oh, and he just lost it all on his own right in front of Gosselin. Luckily, Matt Garrett was able to scoot right through without much damage.
So, about 5 to go in the stage.
Oh, interesting decision here. We see McCrary coming down pit road. And I do believe J.D. Woodward as well. This is I think this is smart. I mean, they know that we're going to have a stage caution here very, very soon. So this could be a really good play for track position.
Sherrick has been disqualified for his second cause of caution in this race, so Sherrick is done.
That is unfortunate. Interesting to note, we saw McCrary just go down pit road as well as Woodward. They didn't stay on. They didn't take tires. They just took gas.
You almost have to wonder the play there.
I mean, it's a play for track position, I know for a fact. But, I mean, if you're going to pit, I would expect you just go ahead and get the tires while you're down there.
McCrary just came down a second time, though, so you wonder if now the tires coming in.
I don't know. Maybe he didn't have them clicked on. Maybe, I don't.
Oh, that's why.
I think he's getting damage repaired.
You know what I think he's doing? Taking 2 tires on one stop, 2 on the other. This is a very quick pace lap of 40 seconds. It takes 30 seconds, according to the pit stop, to get out of the pit lane.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Of course, that's something you have to deal with at a lot of short tracks where even under pacing, I mean, you got to be really careful and smart with, how you do it. So definitely smart call for McCrary, able to get all 4 tires, 2 different stops.
2 to go in stage 2. Coming up to the restart, it's Freeman, Ball, Bounty, Ryan Truex amongst the top 4. Diebold, keep an eye on the 38 on the fresh tires. Here's the thing, though. Scott Famosa is also on fresh tires right behind him. There's the pit strategy for your top 4. They're all on old tires. 2 to go to the TLC restart zone for stage 2 for the green.
Another great start for Freeman. Ball getting a little bit tight on the gas. Side by side, Ryan Truex and Bounty.
Pit entry is closed. Freeman closes the door on Ball's front nose.
Contact, yeah, these guys are beating and banging. I think Ball was wanting to turn him. He's not too happy, I don't think.
White flag is out. Final lap for stage 2 as Freeman near contact. Now 3 wide. Monsto's looking to push his rainwater. Near contact to the back. Still side by side for the stage victory. Freeman high side. Ball inside. Ball slides up. Freeman gets at the line over Ball for the stage win. Bounty, Ryan Truex, Dennis, Diebold, Rainwater, Cherry, Tomlinson, and Mimosa, your top 10. And that brings us to the stage end. More action coming up on Grid Vision right after this break.
Eagleswood Creations, your one-stop shop for wood, acrylic, custom engravings, such as signs, boards, earrings, and much, much more. You can follow them today on Facebook, Instagram, or you can check out their website, eagleswoodcreations.com.
Hey homeowners, you're going to drag your hose through the yard in 2023? There's a better way to water your lawn. TLC Incorporated has been installing custom and professional underground lawn sprinkler systems for over 38 years. Our team would be happy to come out to your property at your convenience and provide you with a free, no obligation quote for a new custom underground lawn sprinkler system for your home. No more dragging the hose. No more dry and dusty patches in your yard. Our smart lawn sprinkler systems will efficiently provide water to your lawn all season long with a healthy green grass from your front yard to your back. Click the blue Learn More button below and the team at TLC can start building the perfect lawn sprinkler system for your home right away. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's throw it back to the guys in the booth.
Welcome back for the start of Stage 3 of Thunderclap Salutes at North Wilkesboro. Justin Pruitt's Brian Britt with you, Austin Darbyshire in the production booth as we get all set for the final stage, 35 laps. Who takes the W from North Wilkesboro? Back underway, it's Tyler Truex and Reed Foley, your top 2 on older tires, your fresh tire drivers from the stage victory, all the way back in 12th.
Heavy race right now for second place. Greg Vial and Foley duking it out. You also see some racing a little bit further back as well. I do believe I see Durasic fighting with Leahy for that 5th place spot.
3 wide as well at a turn 1. A little bit slippy sliding for McCrary. And it looks like some of those strategy calls starting to come into play there with the tire sets. Fully on 2 tires up front. Tyler Truex pit early in the stage. Oh, in trouble. There goes Leahy. Run from the field. It's Ryan Truex getting turned as well. Cherry also gets turned in front of the 3rd group for the caution.
Unfortunate there for Ryan Truex.
Well, that happened fast.
That it did. And of course, see 3 wide. And of course, 3 wide has not worked very well here. Ooh, some heavy damage to the front end of Matt Garrett as well. Oh, wow. Matt Cherry was sideways, rolled right into Truex as well. Or backwards, I should say, not sideways.
First Eagleswood Creations caution to the stage. I should mention that Race Control was just warning them about the racing right test that started.
Yeah, looks. I love that front end, or that roof camera we just took there. Shows Ball, I do believe, turning Ryan Truex.
So, racing incident called. Ryan Truex. Significant damage to the 56. Let's take another look now to Truex. Did we mention this is not an easy pit lane to pit in because there's no pit wall? You don't have the new era pit crews. And because this is North Wilkesboro from the 1980s, the pit lane boxes are very tiny here.
Yeah, that could be a significant difficulty for sure. Unfortunate. I mean, that is going to be a huge blow to Ryan Truex. Of course, he is the points leader for the overall. As we take another look back here.
Now, Cherry was the third looped around.
Oh, that was netcode right there.
Yeah, definitely some air. It didn't help. Gosselin may have still made contact, but not as bad if the air didn't exist.
Yeah.
So now Tyler Truex back into the race lead. How do you feel about this call from Tyler Truex? Because everybody else who was up at the front at the end of stage 2 is 8th on back in the cluster.
I think this is a really good call for Tyler. I mean, he saw that Freeman was able to, really lead a bunch of laps there, even on older tires. I think that he realizes track position is more important. If he's just able to really have solid restarts, I think he's in prime position right now.
Coming up to the restart for the TLC restart zone. Some contact in the 20s. Outside of that, Tyler Truex and Reed Foley 1 and 2. Tyler Truex Racing looking to see if they can keep this point with the way Tyler Truex has raced here tonight. Green, 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 back underway. Greg Vile keeping up for second. Looking to take it away from Foley. Instead, Foley sends it hard up the track.
Almost 3 wide there for that, I do believe, 4th place position. A little bit of contact with the wall there from Foley.
Oh, and Foley's not giving it up. Vile, little squeeze.
Yeah, elbows are out now, ladies and gentlemen. We're less than 30 laps to go. These guys are definitely meaning business right now.
Here's a look at those trying to make a lot of business going fast. Freeman, freshest tires in the field in terms of those up front. He's now already up in the battle for 5th. Everyone else is back here.
You see Garrett there on the bottom getting incredibly close to the ball. Garrett has a ton of front end damage, probably slowing him down. But I'll tell you, watch Freeman. We saw Diebold earlier was really quick on the newer tires, and he was able to successfully drive his way closer to the front. I would watch that 5.
Freeman still zipping the outside. Has damage to deal with from the troubles. Making things look very easy to the bottom now for the 4th spot. Just so happens to be again on the 10, 15 lap pressure tires is near contact Jurassic.
I don't think they're done yet. Jurassic is not wanting to let him get a good run off the corners.
Oh, and Jurassic now in the wall. Everybody hitting that wall in turn 3.
And now here comes Freeman setting his sights on Foley.
Oh, they get contact. Foley moved out of the groove. Jurassic looking to take advantage. Foley staying steady, smacks the wall for good measure.
That wall ain't going anywhere.
They're trying to make it move.
Yeah, they definitely are. Jurassic, though, able to make the pass successfully on Foley. Moves up into the 4th place position. Tyler Truex now with almost 4/10 of a second of a lead right now over Vielle. Here comes Ball, though. Ball's making some moves right now as well.
Ball second on the fresh tire strategy. Looking to wrap that bottom of the race track a little bit dicey on the bottom. Still slippy slidey. Still able to hold on to it. Ball, Pittsburgh-based driver for Next Level Motorsports.
Foley into the wall again, which causes Ball to have the advantage, and he's going to, I think, get this pass completed. Here comes Woodward as well, side by side a little bit further back. I think that's McConey and Montgomery battling it out, or that's actually Diebold and McConey.
Keep in mind, McConey's on the intriguing strategy of in between everybody else. Only he, Jurassic, and Woodward are essentially up on that strategy in the top 10 currently. The thing is, Freeman has caught up to those on the 14-lap older tires. looking for second on Vial.
A lot of battling all throughout this field. It's so hard to keep track of all the things that are going on. I mean, we look back to the back. There's Burleson and Tomlinson battling. Just everywhere on this track. Everywhere you look, there is some side-by-side. Oh, big wiggle there.
Oh, Vial in the wall. Freeman for second, clear. Now it's a 1.1 second gap to close up, down to 1 second. Of note, Ryan Truex has just had to pull it into the TLC Garage Works garage area with a blown motor. 56, the points leader, out of the race.
I don't know if he's going to be the points leader after this one. We'll have to wait and see how that all kind of works out. I do believe the person in the overall that was next was Boundy. And I think Boundy's back in 16th, so it just depends on how many points Boundy gets at the end of this race.
Oh, trouble. Rainwater up in the wall in turn 1 and 2. Caution flag is out. Eagleswood Creations caution. This is the battle for 13th where this comes up. We're just watching this with him and Dennis. Just as you look away, it boils over.
That's usually how it works when you're boiling a pot of water. A little contact there. Dennis gets up into the 0-5, looks like. Sends him around. A little bit of contact with the outside wall. Brings out the caution. Now we're going to have less than 15 laps to go. This is going to be a shootout.
Now the strategy gets really intriguing here. Believe it's still an air lap until the pit lane opens. No, some of the drivers can pit. Jurassic coming in. Woodward coming in, as well as a few others. You're talking 10 laps to make it through the field here, though.
I would not be counting on that.
Remember, the drivers battling for the stage victory in Stage 2. Similar distance to the stage, mind you, for those who stay on old tires. So we'll see if this comes into play here. Here's the tough difference, though. Freeman, much more grip in that race truck right now. By the way, lucky dog is Gosselin. Gosselin pit under green before the caution.
So it must have been really low on fuel. Maybe he just was having some issues with the car handling not well. I'm not sure why he would come down under green.
So, as we're under caution, remember, caution is brought to you by Eagleswood Creations, your one-stop shop for your laser engraving needs. From wood to acrylic, custom signs, earrings, keychains, coasters, and much, much more. Located in West Creek, New York, but shipping nationwide. Items can be purchased and custom-made via Etsy or through their website, eagleswoodcreations.com. Follow them today on Etsy, Facebook, and Eagleswood Creations on Instagram. Drivers looking for a picturesque end to this race. How do you win it is the big question. It may sound simple, but with each of your layers of your front runners, it's a different story at this point. You've got old tires, fresh tires, old tires, fresh tires, old two tires, fresh tires up front.
Yeah, this is going to be definitely an onion. We're going to have to peel this back and see who's going to be able to get the victory. And, of course, Tyler Truex has been very, very strong here tonight. But Freeman is on the fresher equipment, but he does have significant damage on the front end and, I do believe, on the right rear. So that will cause him to have some issues, but he still has been quick. So I'm really curious. I mean, of course, that caution did kind of bring him and Truex back together. We'll have to wait and see how this works out. This is going to be interesting to see how this unfolds.
So that brings Ball into the equation because he's on the same cycle as Freeman, but a clean truck.
Yep.
That's huge for Ball.
And, of course, keep in mind, I mean, Josh Ball is the points leader in the truck series. So, I mean, he's not the points leader for no reason. I mean, he's been fast.
10 laps to go when we get to the TLC restart zone. Tyler Truex, dominant all night long, looking to close it out. Green, green, green. Backing away is Freeman, a poor launch on the fresh tires. Another poor launch for Freeman tonight.
Even worse launch, I'd say, for Vial. Looks like he's getting the momentum back, though. Wow, big wiggle off of turn 2. Still side by side for second place. Ball almost thinking about taking him 3 wide.
9 to go. Vial slams the door. Ball shuffles behind Freeman and Ball looping it. What a save by Ball in front of the pack as they wreck behind in the next group. Tomlinson, wall-to-wall contact. That's Jurassic getting squeezed around. Rainwater spins, no caution, we stay green.
They were 4 wide right there for a second. Just crazy to see that no caution came as a result of that, as we're coming now to 8 laps to go.
Coming to 7 next time by the stripe. Garrett demolished up to 7, the +8 in this feature race, despite the significant contacts.
Yeah, definitely shocking that race truck is still as fast as it is here. I do believe we see someone trying to make a move there. I think that is Diebold trying to make one on Foley.
Diebold, a little bit of a lunge now, peeking to the outside. Diebold, remember, on fresh tires as well. Also side by side building up for third. Ball and Vial also building up.
We might be, yeah, we're getting ready to see some 3 wide, almost an accident further back here. I see Dennis, J.D. Woodward, Montgomery, all these guys are just beating and banging back here. Elbows are out. This is getting crazy.
Oh, and an elbow given out with Bull now moving up to third. Vial shuffles back to fourth. Diebold nearly sending an elbow to him Foley. Under 5 laps to go, Tyler Truex still with the advantage. 4/10 quicker last time by compared to Freeman's truck.
Yeah, he has looked fantastic. Heat 1, and looks like he is going to try to seal the deal with the race win. If we can finish this under green. See Vial with the diamond line there, trying to see if he can't work his way up to ball.
Foley Butzel scraping the wall here too. 3 to go. Coming to 2 to go next time by. Then a wild one, and the caution is out down the front stretch. It's Alan Marshall in the 8 truck going around from 18th position. Eagleswood Creations caution sets up overtime.
Take a look back and see exactly what happened here to Alan Marshall. He has had a rough night. Looks like some contact with the wall ahead of him. Jurassic. Oh, looks like, yeah, Leahy gets into his left rear, sends him right around.
Yeah, well, for Leahy. You can see why. And now it's the first of three green, white checker attempts now on the docket because of that spinny.
And could we use them all? I think it's a possibility. I mean, these guys are very aggressive. They all want to get as many points as they possibly can. And I'll tell you what, also, one thing we haven't really mentioned as well, Justin, is we have an off week this coming up Wednesday. So I wouldn't want to have a week off and have to think about how I failed, right? I mean,
yeah. And keep in mind, when we come back from the off week, how about a throwback week with the car of tomorrow at Legacy Atlanta? That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that is going to be really interesting, just considering I don't believe that car really has a limiter on it. I mean, I've seen that car be able to hit 220 mile an hour, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not at Old Atlanta, though.
Yeah, remember the Chronometer 500 about a couple years ago now ran at Daytona because they don't have restrictor plates on the car tomorrow for the super speedways. So you had a super speedway race where drivers went 240 miles an hour and had to lift into the corners at Daytona.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Old Atlanta, quite a rough surface, so they're not going to be able to hit anywhere close to those kind of speeds. But with that amount of power that they'll have in that race car, it's going to make it even harder to handle. I mean, Atlanta is already hard to handle anyway.
So on that note, we're in overtime, presented by RL Productions, a Baltimore-based national video marketing agency specializing in video marketing solutions and commercial advertising. RL Productions offers custom brand strategies tailored to your company or organization's unique goals with in-house level attention to detail. RL Productions also offers complete international event solutions for your conference and convention needs with both on-ground and live-stream production capabilities. Visit rlproductioncrew.com to chart your expectations into real-life productions. The expectations for overtime are as thus. If we get a caution before the white flag, we'll do an RGWC. If we get past the white flag, it's the next flag that ends the race. Remember, 3 GWCs available. If we get to a third green-white checkered and crash before the white flag, the race will end under yellow. Simple as that.
course, you see Tyler Truex has chosen this time around to start on the top side. Last few restarts, he started on the bottom, so I'm wondering how this is going to affect him. Is he going to be used to how it starts on the top?
The short track racer from New Jersey looking to hold off the pack. Vio on new tires. Freeman and Ball as well. Green, green, green. 2 to go. And with that might be the lane change. Freeman over the track. Ball inside. No call yet as we racing stay green.
We could see a penalty, that's for sure. 3 wide, though. I do believe 3 wide back there in the mid-pack. Some guys slow on the bottom there. I think we're getting ready to have another caution. Do we make the white flag? We do.
1 to go. Presented by RL Productions. Who is this lead going to go down to? Ball and Freeman side by side for second. Tyler Truex amongst those who slid around on the tire spin. Tyler Truex coming across the line to take first, but Ball and Freeman in a drag race for second.
Ball just barely able to edge out Freeman for that second spot. What a race, and still unknown. Do we see a penalty for Tyler Truex?
Is this Tyler Truex or is this Ball? I think everybody's trying to figure out who they're supposed to congratulate here.
I think so.
Still waiting on official word here. Tyler Truex looking to celebrate. Ball isn't even pulling down the pit lane yet.
Yeah, I think Ball is maybe thinking that maybe should I be able to still have access to the front stretch or not?
Well, Tyler Truex taking the chance at least to be able to celebrate. We'll have to figure out what happened here. Still waiting for word.
I just know that there was a lane change. We saw that, and if James Seawright got that same penalty earlier.
Just waiting on that word currently. Once again, Tyler Truex crossing the line first. Ball second, side by side with Freeman. Now, the interesting point, we can take a look one more time at all this. Tire spin was huge on this restart. Tyler Truex at the very least trying to spin out these tires right now on the track. Let's take a look at it one more time.
Yeah, right there. That's when he changed lane.
Did both him and Freeman change?
Could very well have. I mean, it almost looked like they almost had contact on the restart, too. I mean, it looked like Freeman almost spun Tyler Truex. Oh, wow. That was actually close with Vial and Freeman as well.
An interesting way to finish here. Again, still waiting on official word on how things play out here. As we wait for official word, we'll take a break. We'll regroup when we come back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to North Wilkesboro. Race control has just, based on discussions with Brian Brick, confirmed Tyler Truex gets the W. Again, unofficial currently, and how things play out in the full results. But Tyler Truex, the W over Ball, Freeman, Vile, and Diebold, the top 5. Foley, Garrett, Bounty, Clapper, Famoso, your top 10 on the left side of your screen. That's how they cross the stripe here. A wild way to end here, Brian.
100%. Of course, Woodward's finishes 11th, Cherry 12th, McConey 13th, Dennis 14th, McCrary 15th, Jurassic in 16th, Tomlinson in 17th, Montgomery 18th, Marshall 19th, and Leahy rounds out the top 20.
21st, Rainwater. 22nd, Burleson, Gosselin in 23rd. A DNF for Ryan Truex, as well as a DNF and DQ for Cherrick. So that's the unofficial running order at the time of checkered. Again, Tyler Truex declared the winner currently. So, start things off third through first, because still a lot of discussions, I think, going there. John Freeman, at the very least, in third after 40 laps led. That was also a close call for Freeman. Freeman, top 3 for you tonight. How did the truck feel?
Truck was pretty good, man. I really had no issues most of the race. I had a good battle there, handling-wise, with Tyler in the first stage. I almost got to his back bumper, couldn't quite get there to get the stage win, but good run with him. Stage 2 was kind of up and down with the cautions we had. Truck felt good in the couple green flag laps we did have there, and we had a good battle with Ball. But again, truck felt pretty good, man. And then, unfortunately, we got stuck in some traffic due to that stage 3 break, stage 2 to stage 3 break, where I decided to take my first pit stop of the race, and had to restart P12, and it was a struggle to get back up there. And I really think I might have burnt a little bit of my tire up getting back through the field, which kind of left me with nothing for Truex, and it kind of got me really tight there at the end, and then I had wheel spin on the last restart.
Yeah, that was the next question about that restart. A lot of tire spin for both of you on the front row there. How difficult was that launch, despite you being on a bit fresher tires than Tyler?
It was pretty terrible. Like I said, I think I burnt my stuff up a lot there, getting back through the field, and I decided I was going to restart in second gear. I probably should have played it safe, knowing I'd wore my stuff out a little bit, and went in third. Because I tried mashing the gas, and I just got a little too aggressive and lost the rear end a little bit. Luckily, I was able to save it with a little bit of a break from Greg, but definitely a mistake on my part for sure.
So, a few weeks from now, it's a throwback night. How do you feel about driving the car of tomorrow?
Me and some of my teammates, like Matt Montgomery, did some practice a couple months ago, and I'm honestly going to need a lot of work. I'm not really good in those cars at all, so I'm going to be putting in a ton of work in the next few weeks. But I'm excited. It's a different car, a different challenge, and we'll see what we can do when it gets there, man.
Well, any shout-outs you want to give for the top 3 tonight?
Yes, sir. My teammates, obviously, Jordan, Matt, Reed, and then obviously my sponsors, Mina Peach, and then D&K Management, as well as Big Rigs, the YouTube channel, as you've seen on the truck again tonight. And thank you guys once again for putting on a great broadcast, and look forward to next week.
Once again, that's John Freeman coming away the 3rd spot tonight. Lots to talk about second on forward here. To talk about second at the stripe, Josh Ball is with Brian.
Josh, definitely fantastic run here. Got second, barely edged out Freeman there. I mean, of course, you came into this race as the Truck Series points leader. How does this finish mean to you? Are you disappointed? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed because there was definitely some lane changes there at the end of the race, and nobody got hit, saying that they didn't change lanes. So I should be P1, in my opinion. I mean, everybody from the 69, the 5, and the 23, I don't think changed lanes. You just got screwed. But, you know, they all changed lanes there and caused me to check up, and even the leader that won the race changed lane.
Yeah, I could definitely understand why you feel that was a little bit of a controversial finish. We kind of mentioned it as well in the broadcast booth. But, I mean, of course, admin's call stands. You got second, but you should exit this race still, I do believe, with the Truck Series points for sure. So I'm sure you're going to be arguing your position on that for sure. But how was the truck feeling? How do you like North Wilkesboro?
Truck was feeling great. I mean, besides the fact that we didn't get the W there, I think we had the truck to win. I mean, Freeman was a little bit better than us, but there he had some damage, so I thought we were the fastest truck on the track.
Yeah, damage did seem to be impacting him for sure. And you guys had a really good battle as well a little bit earlier in the race. Seemed like you guys just were fighting so hard for that win or for that lead there for a long time. I mean, do you have I'd say a lot of respect for that? I mean, it seems like you guys race around each other a lot and, are willing to make moves that other people I don't think are willing to.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely racing me good. I definitely had a lot of racing with him throughout the race. So, I respected him in that matter. We had, a couple good battles, but yeah, otherwise pretty decent.
For sure. Definitely excellent job to you for sure. You definitely have seemed like this truck fits your style. But of course, next week we're going to be off. The week after that, though, we're going to be coming back to Legacy Atlanta, the 2008, I do believe, Scan, in the car of tomorrow, which is going to be very, very different. How do you feel about that? I mean, what's your comfort level look like when it comes to a car like that?
I like. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there actually. Oh well. But yeah. No, I think it'll be fun for the guys. It'll be a change, but yeah, on vacation that week. But yeah, it should be interesting.
Well, we definitely hate to hear that. I will tell you, we've gotten so used to watching you out there racing, and still a great job to you here tonight, Josh. I know you're a little disappointed, but who can we give a shout out to after your second place finish?
Oh, you guys being here, putting on the broadcast, Clapper for having the league, and White and all that for being up there in the booth.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, Josh. We'll see you, and have a good week off. Have a good vacation as well.
Thanks.
And that's Josh Ball up in the second spot at the stripe. Tyler Truex declared the winner tonight. Tyler, first question. That final restart, how difficult was it to hold on to that truck, and what happened?
Oh, it was definitely, green, white, checker restart. We were all trying to do what we could to get to the line first, right? So, I spun the tires definitely a little bit, tried to hang on to it and gathered it back up, got right back in line, so I figured, that's per the rule book as far as gathering it back up. It wasn't like I just instantly merged or tried to throw a block or anything. I blatantly spun the tires. So, it is what it is. Other than that, we had a great race. I kind of pit lap 25 thinking more guys were going to come, and nobody came. So kind of put me in a box early. I was nervous I was going to get caught up in one of those wrecks, so I was just patient and ended up pitting about 10 to go in that second stage, and just rode around, stayed in front of Reed Foley, who was on the same strategy there, and got lucky. Everyone did come down at the end of stage 2, and we inherited the lead. Just got lucky with the restarts and was able to manage my tires. I thought Freeman was going to get us there on the new tires, but the restarts just fell my way. Having a teammate behind me really helped too, being able to count him down and have him be there with him on those couple laps helped a lot. So I got to thank Greg for sure.
Well, a big milestone as well for you tonight, because you're now tied for second all time in series victories with Daniel Silvestri. Daniel Silvestri, mind you, only had 11 starts and 7 victories. You now have a chance, if you can have an error win, to make it a 1-2 for the Truex family. How big would that be for you and for Ryan, yourself, for you two as brothers, to basically be 1-2 in series history and victories?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. My family, Ryan and Martin, them guys have been on fire in the real world. So, Ryan's been on fire in this series too. I don't even know what his total all-time victory list is, but we'd have a lot of work to do to get to him. But, yeah, it's definitely special. I appreciate Justin and everything he's doing with this series. It's definitely been a good time. Third season now. We've got a lot of guys on our squad, on our end. It's brought a lot of us together in the real world to be able to go and do things and look forward to Wednesday night. So it's definitely a nice little series, something to get away from the real world and hang out with your buddies online is definitely cool. So like I said, I just appreciate you guys doing the broadcast and Clapper for everything he's been doing. Hopefully we can keep this momentum going. I mean, I've been on a losing streak for a while. Getting caught up in wrecks this season's been unfortunate, so it's nice to finally turn it around. Hopefully we can compete with Rye guys some more.
Yeah, your first win in the series since January of 2022, mind you.
Phew.
A long time, or October, I should say. It's still been a long time. Yeah. But here's the question. The next race is with the car we haven't run all season. It's for a throwback. It's the car tomorrow. What's your experience like with one of the original cars on the iRacing service that, mind you, can go up to 240 miles an hour on the super speedway?
Yeah, I mean, I've had the service since 08, since it's really came out. My brother was living down for North Carolina, working for Dale Jr. at the time, so I've been playing the game since I was 10 years old. That car was kind of what I remember as far as what the Cup car should feel like in this game. I raced it a lot in the older days as far as trying to go for Road to Pro and DWC back in the day, so I'm pretty familiar with it. Not the new tire models, nothing like that, but it's definitely going to be a handful. It should be a good time. It'll be a lot of wrecks. I hope everyone can handle it.
Well, Tyler, congratulations once again on the victory tonight. Well done for you. You lead the most laps. You get your first dub of the year.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Tyler Truex taking the checker flag here tonight in North Wilkesboro in the Thunderclap Salutes at North Wilkesboro. Now, we have one thing to note here. I believe Justin Clapper standing alongside here amongst those a part of the admin crew. Justin, how was things for you tonight from the racetrack real quick, first of all?
Oh, man, things are great for me to rebound after not even making it at all last week. I'll take P9 all day long.
Now, you're the commissioner of the Thunderclap iRacing Series. Heard the viewpoints from both drivers. There was the tire spin, but Tyler Truex did mention the chance to gather it up into the decision-making for the admin team tonight.
Yeah, so after our review, being that we are at a racetrack that doesn't technically have an iRacing restart zone, yes, there's lines painted on the racetrack, but it's up to the leader's discretion on when he goes. There's a lot of tire spin there in that situation, and after the review from myself, Jake, and Justin White, we can officially say that Tyler Truex is the winner.
So there's the confirmation, and as we explained, Tyler Truex getting that confirmation through as well, told to Brian Britt real quickly as well here tonight. Very much so significant tonight, not just being at North Wilkesboro, but as well Thunderclap Salutes being the race name. Plenty of military veterans in the field tonight. You it yourself, along with Robert Condon, with special paint schemes tonight. Talk us through the significance of this salutes part of the evening.
Yeah, so this is something that we've done every season now since the start of Thunderclap. And usually we try to do this Memorial Day weekend, stuff like that. But being that we have the off week coming up and there's a lot going on for us within the industry and our own families on Memorial Day, we decided to do it a little early and kind of make it a month-long thing. So we chose North Wilkesboro as a themed event to hopefully pull some viewers in. We're all really excited in the industry to go to the real thing this weekend. And, I love any chance we get to salute our military men and women, past, present, and even the future that have the mindset to do what they do to protect our freedom. So not only do we get the chance to salute them here, but, if you ever see anybody out there, salute them every day. Don't forget what they do for us. And if you see a serviceman and women in uniform, make sure you go up to them, shake their hand, thank them. It goes a long way for them and their mental health, and we're big supporters of that here at Thunderclap.
Now, one last final question when it comes to the next race, a throwback race at Legacy Atlanta car tomorrow.
Yeah, so an idea we had, instead of doing just the throwback paint scheme idea that everybody has, we figured, let's bring back a vehicle and a venue. So we did kind of a vote across the league with drivers and the admin team, and everybody seemed to say, let's bring horsepower back. Well, a lot of the fans want that, and slipping and sliding in Atlanta. So the COT cars, man, I'm really, really looking forward to that and seeing what we can bring to the table after Thursday Night Thunder kind of gave us a little taste of that during the off season. So really looking forward to that.
Well, thank you very much for the time, Justin. Once again, congrats on the top 10 for yourself tonight. And once again, thank you for the time.
Thank you, guys. Y'all do an awesome job up here. Keep it up.
Once again, that's Justin Clapper, commissioner of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated. I'd like to thank him as well as the entire top three, Tyler Truex, along with Josh Ball and John Freeman for taking the time to speak with us here on Grid Vision. Brian, tonight, plenty of sparks, but in the end, it's Tyler Truex, his first victory in a while for the Season 1 champion.
Yeah, I mean, definitely congratulations to him. I mean, that was really, really cool to see him get that dub. I know, Ryan Truex definitely didn't do as well tonight, but I mean, of course, at least one of the Truexes got it done. I mean, that's for sure. And he was fast. I mean, of course, he won Heat 1 and showed a lot of pace. He pulled off the right strategies as well, and definitely glad to see it. I mean, it's been a long time coming for him. I'm sure he's been probably not liking this drought, but back to victory lane he goes. I'm sure he's definitely excited about it.
And I can already say some of the drivers are excited about the next race. Throwback car tomorrow. At least one driver's already claimed the paint scheme and is demanding for the setup so they can start practicing. That's going to be a wild one because, as some event goers will say, it's hard to drive.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, the car has so much power that these guys are going to have a tough time driving it. And you even heard Tyler Truex mention how, there's probably going to be a lot of accidents as well. I mean, I think there would be accidents either way, just considering Atlanta, that old configuration. It's definitely, I think, the superior configuration. I'm sure a lot of people might agree with that or not. But, it's going to be even turned up to 11 with that car tomorrow. So I think that we have a very interesting show coming up in a couple weeks here with Thunderclap. And so I can't wait for it.
Once again, Tyler Truex coming away with a victory tonight. As mentioned, the next time out for Thunderclap action is after the holiday break. It's May 31st, 135 laps at Atlanta with the car tomorrow here on Grid Vision. Until then, it's time to say goodbye. From my broadcast partner tonight, Brian Britt, for Austin Darbyshire, our producer, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching Thunderclap Salutes at North Wilkesboro. Congratulations to Tyler Truex, your winner from Wilkes County.